Welcome, friends and fans, to another episode of GalaxyCon Live, where we are bringing the convention experience directly to you. And today, we'll be visiting the perilous future with 5 members of the 100 cast, and now is the time for all of you in our chat room to begin typing in your questions for them. Immediately after this session, you will have the opportunity to talk to our guests directly through our private chat options, as well as purchase autograph and personalized recorded messages, all of which are available now at GalaxyCon.com. And now, without further ado, let's read out our guests. First, she is an actress, host, and dancer whose body of work includes The Tomorrow People, Supernatural, and Narco Leap. Today, she joins us to talk about life as Harper McIntyre. Please welcome Chelsey Reist.
Hey!
Hey!
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks, Patty. Hi, everyone. What up, GalaxyCon?
Trust me, if they're making noise where they're at.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, so good to have you here. I hope everything is well in your part of the world.
It's fantastic. Yes. I mean, as best it can be. I was just saying there, sorry, hello to everyone who's at home. It's probably midnight for some of you. It's 4 a.m. for some of you. I really appreciate you coming in.
Oh, we appreciate you. And you are helping out a good cause today. Can you tell us, our audience, about the Trevor Project?
Yes, absolutely I can. I can't also claim all of that because Tasya Teles has also come in to join me in donating her proceeds. And I'm just so touched that she did that. We didn't even talk about it. It was a total surprise. But the Trevor Project. For those of you who know me, I've often spoken about my mental health issues, my depression in the past, my thoughts on suicide as a younger teen, and so it's a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. Also, being part of the LGBTQ community and supporting that is very important to me. And the Trevor Project really brings the two together. So it's sorry, the phone's going off. I'm getting messages. It's it helps with suicide prevention and crisis intervention. They're available 24/7. You can text, which I think is super cool. You can go online and chat, or you can phone call in. So I'll be donating my proceeds there. And truly the thanks goes to you fans who have signed up. Thank you so much. This is something really dear to my heart, and I couldn't have done it without you. So we're doing it together, and I'll let you know what we raise, and then we'll send it off.
Absolutely outstanding. Well, thank you again for joining us, and thank you again for supporting this wonderful cause. It's certainly one that's dear to me in my world as well. So thank you again.
I'm so happy for that.
And what else I'm happy for, I'm happy to bring out our next guest. He is an actor whose credits include Black Sails, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and The Walking Dead. Today he joins us to talk about his turn as King Roan of the Ice Nation. Please welcome Zach McGowan.
Woo-hoo!
What's up? What's up, everyone? How's it going?
Oh, good. How are you doing in your little nature paradise there?
Oh, it's not so nature. It's just a tree. It's all smoke and mirrors.
How you doing in your part of the world, sir?
As best as can be. Here in LA, things are good. Life is okay. We're a bit shut down, but that means I can be here with all of you. Good to see you, Patty. What's up, Chelsey? How's it going?
So glad to have you here on the GalaxyCon virtual stage, as we call it. And next, she is an actress whose roles include iZombie, Prison Break, and Supernatural. Today, she joins us to discuss the character of Echo. Please welcome Tasya Teles.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
How are you, Patty?
I am well. How are you? And thank you as well for helping out in the cause today.
Of course. I mean, it's such a joy to be able to do that. So thank you to everybody who is participating and bought, the videos, because it's just a great thing to do to, donate money to these charities when we get the opportunity to. So.
Joss, I was so touched that you did that, just to speak to you about that, because I posted it and then you reposted it. And I was like, oh, that's so kind of you to repost that. Thank you. And then a minute later, you're like, and I'm doing this.
Wait a second. That's a fantastic idea. I'm going to call you. It's all for a good cause.
Friggin' incredible. You're doing great things. You're giving back. Thank you.
Oh, and next, he is an actor and director whose credits include Dave Makes Man, Into the Badlands, and Peaky Blinders. Today, he joins us to talk about his time as Lieutenant Miles Shaw. Please welcome Jordan Bolger.
What's going on?
Hey.
Good.
What's going on, guys?
Good. How are you doing in your corner of the world, sir?
I'm good. I mean, I'm in LA, so the weather's pretty perfect every day, so you can't complain about it. Using quarantine to work on new things. I'm good. Glad to be here.
Right on. Absolutely. So glad to have you here. And finally, she is an actress whose credits include Burden of Truth and Night Hunter. Today, she joins us to talk about the sinister role of Josephine Lightbourne. Please welcome our final guest, Sara Thompson.
Hello.
Hello. And how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm back with the family. Everything's good.
Absolutely outstanding. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you all for joining us here today. Welcome to the GalaxyCon virtual stage. As always, we miss having you on our stages in front of your fans and in front of our audiences, and we look forward to the day when the world unspools itself and gets a little bit back to normal. But in the meantime, we're here, and while our audience is chatting away and putting in great questions for us, I would love to hear you individually, how each of you got involved with the 100. And I think this probably starts with you, Chelsey, since you were kind of there from day one.
I got down and I begged for a job. I know.
Okay.
I
as an actor, I know that. I know how to do that.
Okay, yeah. God, how did I get involved? I mean, technically, it always comes down to an audition and a callback and then booking. And just quickly, because a lot of you probably know the story, but I was about to take my MCAT to enter medical school because I'd given up on acting, not working. And the day I was about to write my MCAT, I got the audition for the 100. And the MCAT you can only write once a year. And I was like, shit, what do I do? Do I audition and continue this, what I meant to do, or try a new path that really intrigues me? Canceled the MCAT and I went to the audition. I showed up. The role was for 17-year-olds. At the time, I was like 23. And I was like, fuck, I made such a bad decision. But then I booked it. So I'm not a doctor.
What?
But I found something that changed my life and brought these wonderful people into my life. And as you were saying, can't wait till the borders open again, because this job has also allowed me to travel places, which is so important to me. And yeah, the rest is history.
Indeed. Zach, I believe you came on board next.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I got onto the 100. I'd just been finished up shooting on Black Sails in South Africa, and I was at Comic-Con San Diego, and I had been friends with Bob for a little while, and me and him were hanging out at I think it was a Warner Brothers party, because we were going there because he had to go there, I believe. And Mike Tyson was there. And I'm a big fan of Mike Tyson because I grew up in, the 90s and 80s, and he was, Iron Mike. And so Mike Tyson was there, and I really wanted to meet him because he was there. I was like, oh, I got to go up to Mike. So I went up to Mike, and it turned out Mike was actually a fan of Shameless. He didn't know Black Sails, but he knew Shameless. So we were chatting, and Bob was right next to me, and he didn't say anything, and he mistook Bob for he was like, who's this fanboy? And I was like, no, it's my buddy Bob. I'm actually here because he's got a show on Warner Brothers. And then we were like kind of playing around, and Jason was there. Jason Rothenberg, and I was telling Mike Tyson about Black Sails and how it was done, and then Jason was there in the conversation. I didn't know Jason at the time, and he was like, "Wait, are you done on Black Sails?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "Are you available right now on TV?" And I was like, "I actually am." And then Jason was like, "I'm casting a role that's like so perfect for you. Would you come be on the show?" And I was like, "On Bob's show?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Of course. What do I do?" And he was like, "The first thing you do is beat the shit out of Bob." And I was like, that's basically how I ended up on it.
Right. Mike Tyson was a good luck charm. All right.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
I think Jason thought I was really cool because I was talking to Mike Tyson.
Yeah. See, there you go. And that proves once again, you never know who you're going to bump into at any of these parties in the entertainment business.
That's true.
You're gonna kick over a domino that's gonna lead you somewhere. Just like, absolutely. Well, thank you. That was a great one. Tez, I believe you were next.
Well, my story also involves Mike Tyson.
Okay, excellent. We're finding out a lot here today.
No, it doesn't. It was the regular.
Oh, we'll give her a second. Maybe she'll come back.
The next time I'm talking, I'm going to totally pretend like I'm frozen.
Yeah.
All right, you're back.
Oh,
You froze up just for a second. So
shoot.
you were telling us about Mike Tyson and how he started your career.
Yeah, he was my reader and my life coach. And I said, like, how do I get on the 100? And he was like, well, it's funny. I just helped Zach with this. And I was like, perfect. I auditioned for Echo, and she just like to have this little kind of spicy sassiness to her. And in the scene, I remember the scene was the scene where, oddly, I beat up Bellamy. No, I had to spit on Bob. And so that was my audition scene. And then, you know, when it came time to film it, I remember being like, should I actually spit on you, like, through the cages? And he was like, yeah, go for it. I don't really care. And I was like, okay. But then by the end of the day, I had to like spit so many times from all the different angles they were shooting it. So like I had like no like saliva left. So they were giving me cups of water, and I was just like spitting water at them. It worked. First scene.
And the rest is history.
And then COVID started. No.
You guys were patient zeros. Oh my goodness. Jordan, I think you were next.
Yeah, I think so. With me, I was in the UK. I remember the 100 when I was younger, when I first started school. I remember watching like the first season, loving it. But then I'm not really a big TV watcher, full stop. But yeah, just had this tape sent over. Apparently the guys wanted me to tape for it. And I actually spoke to one of the writers, Charmaine. I don't know if you guys know Charmaine as well. Yeah, and she'd said that she'd sort of written this character with me in mind. So I read it and just fell in love with him. I just fell in love with all just who he was. Did a tape, and then like about a month later, I got a call saying, yeah, he needs to be in Vancouver in 2 weeks' time.
Wow.
And that was it, you know? So yeah, it was it came out of nowhere, but it was a beautiful ride.
Wow.
It was a beautiful ride.
How incredible to have a character written with you in mind.
Yeah.
It was mad to speak to Charmaine as well. I think like
Oh, wow.
she must have seen something before, and then as she was writing, yeah, it was a nice one. It was a blessing.
Absolutely, and a great character. My lady friend at the time, you were actually one of her favorites. So, yes, she was. She was like, "Shut up, my other boyfriend's on." It's like, okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good, boss. So, Sarah, then you came on board as an oh boy. What a villain.
I came on board as an oh boy. Yeah, I was actually filming a movie with Richard Harmon at the time. And my name in that movie was Beth. And the code name, I guess, for Josephine for the auditions was also Beth. And I guess they were looking for this character, and I don't know, Richard found out that they were looking for the character, what the character was like, and he comes up to me and he's like, I think this character would be perfect for you. Little did I know she was a sociopath. But I did it, and it was pretty quick. Like within, a day, I think I was getting sent for network approval, which was very wild. It came out of nowhere. It was wild. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, a follow-up with you, Zach. You came back after your character was concluded in a hallucinatory scene. What was it like getting that call? Are you available to come in for a day?
It was actually funny. I had been up in Vancouver shooting another show like a week before, and had actually been like out to dinner with Tasya, and like was like saying like I was doing that, and then I came back to LA and I just got a call from Jason like, dude, I need you to come up to Vancouver. Are you available like tomorrow? It was like in like a day or something. And I was like,
just got back to LA.
and I was like, yeah, sure. I'll come up, of course. And then I got up there, and all of a sudden I was opposite Tat again, and we were like playing the thing. And the armor still fit me. And I was like, oh, look.
That's nice. Nice that the wardrobe still had it.
Yeah, of course.
Is that when you came back and you guys had the fountain scene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Didn't he die in a fountain? Weren't you in a fountain?
I was in a fountain.
Yeah.
I think it was a fountain. It was really just like, it was an actual fountain.
Yeah. Yeah,
But like,
full list.
Speaking of filming and stuff, what was your favorite scene, or I should say favorite memory on the set?
was that for me or?
That's for everybody.
I'll let someone else go.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess I won't let someone else go.
Okay.
One of my favorite moments, and I think it's like indicative of like TV in general. We were shooting. It was actually I forget the exact episode number, but we were in Abby's laboratory, and the spaceship was over there, and what happened was someone, I can't remember, there was a lot of people in that room, but somebody was sick, and we couldn't shoot the dialogue for that scene that we were shooting. And basically, because they had everyone there for the day already, they had me and Eliza, and they needed us to shoot a scene from the next episode that they hadn't sent us yet. And they sent us, and they basically were like, will you guys do it? And we were like, I mean, whatever, let's do it. And they brought us in the sides while we were kind of doing some makeup and hair changes and stuff that needed to happen for it. And me and Eliza kind of ran it, and it was a really great scene. It was the scene where we ended up we're up over over them while we've just put the dude in the microwave. Is the way I like to call it.
Yeah.
And everyone's worried about all the crazy stuff we've done, and it's like me telling her that she's a great leader and stuff, and it just ended up being this really great scene, and it kind of happened out of nowhere and with no prep, and it just it was one of the best scenes. It's on my you take something from every project and you put it on your reel, and that's the scene that's on my reel from the 100 is that scene between me and her up there.
Nice.
And it just I love that scene.
Awesome, thank you. Any other takers?
I think I know mine, and it was actually probably when it was Shaw's last scene, the ending for Shaw, and we were just running through the forest in Vancouver somewhere. It was wet, but it was horrible, but it was just everyone was there, and just knowing that I was leaving after that, that wasn't so nice, but getting to spend it with everyone and the people that I got to know over this time, I'll remember it. Just had good conversations with everyone over those 2 days. I think.
That was a wild scene.
Awesome. All these things we couldn't see with flames. It was nuts. It was a good night. It was a very good night.
You had a good death, man.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. So pretty. Yeah, that was mine. That sticks out to me for sure.
Out of curiosity, was your death scene the final scene you filmed of that episode, or did you have to do pick a head for it?
No, I think it was the final scene because I was I was working in Orlando, so it was trying to get me over to Vancouver and get it done in a certain amount of time. So it was done really quick, which was the way it had to be for filming. But in terms of spending time with everyone and getting finished with enough time, we had to rush it a bit. But no, it was good. It was good.
Right on. Any other takers?
I like the scenes that we did where we got to do the sword fighting. That was fun. Just mostly because we had so much fun practicing in the park and etc. But you taught me so much about how to use a sword. Or any stunt stuff I find really fun and exciting. So that's good.
I love that moment with you because you were so worried that you weren't going to be a good sword fighter, and I was like, why wouldn't you be an awesome sword fighter?
Why would I?
You haven't done it before, doesn't mean you can't be awesome at it.
Coach, you were so strong because you were so you are generally, but you had been sword fighting on Black Sails for so long, and so just to hold the sword against his when he smacked, I was always ah, I'd be like, come on, Taz.
You were gangster.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are gangster.
You are gangster.
You are gangster.
Sarah, Chelsey, any favorite memories on the set?
I'm pausing because, Do you have one?
I just really I also like stunt stuff. It's very fun. I've always been a dancer, so just learning choreography and combining my two worlds is amazing for me. And just the stuff that stunt people can do, I can't understand it. I'm just like, I wish that was my job. It's so cool. But there's one scene where my memories, we're getting rid of all my memories and our two brains are colliding and all the books are falling and everything's just going crazy. And I just remember getting there and being like, wow, like this is the movie magic. It felt very much like I was witnessing everything I thought was so cool as a kid in film and in television. And I felt like I was just watching the movie magic happen. It was really cool. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I'm hesitant to answer because I often go to this certain one where I got drilled in the butt, but for bone marrow. I guess the other one on my top of my head is when for bone marrow, guys. God, when it was the final goodbye and Harper and Monty had aged out and we were leaving a video message to our future son saying, "Please take care." And it basically, like for an actor, it felt as if it was a culmination of all the emotions, everything I'd ever felt during 5 seasons. I was about to portray to my future this kid, and I was really putting it out. And Dean White, one of our producers, just said, just let it be. And so I just dropped it, whatever, and just let it come out. I just remember him saying, "Just let it be." And then it came out so simple. And then after they all cut, I was bawling, and everyone on set was bawling. It was just a really depressing answer. It was a really powerful moment. Yeah,
absolutely. I remember that scene very well. So, thank you so very much. I got the word from our producers that we've got some audience questions, so I'll ask them to roll the first one for us. And this comes from T, and they want to know, what would your characters take if they could only have one item on a deserted island?
Zach, you know what we would take.
We would take our swords.
No, we would take
our panda mask. That's the
always shows up out of nowhere.
You gotta take your background on with you, because you get your war face on.
Yeah, or our swords.
Harper would take Monty, hands down. But he could leave his green goo.
I would actually take Raven because I'd be like, you know how to do everything.
I'm taking Raven. We'll have to argue.
with you.
Sword fight.
I would have to say, I mean, she would take Gabriel, right? She was so in love with him.
I don't know
but about also like a couple books or whatever.
Yeah, okay, because the question is item, not
item. That's what I was gonna say.
All right.
Oh.
Listen, sometimes you treated Monty like an item.
I was going to say sword because when you're opening coconuts, you want a sword to open the coconuts on the desert island. You could tie it to a stick and it's a spear. You could get the food, you get the fish. I mean, and you could make
it all together. So, like, if he has a sword, should I bring mine?
You bring the face paint. And then
right, okay.
You're not together on this island. You're alone on the island.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, then I'll bring my sword.
Oh.
We're learning a lot here today. T, thank you. That was a great one to start us off with. What's next? And from Chloe, if you could play another character, who would you choose?
We always get this.
Yeah.
I always say
everybody across.
I'm going to change my answer because we get it often. I would like to be King Roan. I'd like to be just held down by Tasya in that fountain.
I didn't hold him down in the fountain.
You held him in the fountain.
Nadia.
Really?
Nadia did.
Oh, I'd like to be Nadia Hilker's character.
Many of the characters held me down at certain different times, to be fair.
Yeah.
I just want to be Nadia in general, actually, once we're on the Nadia topic.
I would be Monty so I could cuddle up with y'all.
Oh.
Nice. Any other takers? It's okay to pass.
I always say Murphy. Stick to it.
I nearly said.
I've said that many times. Normally, when I get the question, I say that only because, like, he's kind of my favorite. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd want to be a child in that world. I'd also want to come back it'd be such a crazy world to play as a young actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool answer.
Maddie?
Yeah, I'm like, I've never thought of that.
I guess I didn't answer, so I owe one since everyone did. There was like, I actually don't remember his name, but there was this like old dude who was on the council. He was for one of the crews, but he would be across. He never had any lines, but he was mad. He had the beard, mad interesting. I'm just gonna say that to be interesting.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah. That guy.
But I would always look at it. I was like, dude, that guy. I always would like wish they wrote him like some monologue because I was like, that dude is mad interesting.
Yeah.
You know.
Right on. All right, that works. Chloe, thank you. That was a fun one. And this one comes from Sophia. If they could bring their character from the 100 to any other show, which one would they fit in? Which one would they bring?
Oh, like you bring.
Or you obviously bring to any other show. Which one do you think that character would fit in?
I think Echo would be dope in Peaky Blinders. I think she'd be like a super spy. Like she would like kill it. Get all the outfits.
What do you think of that, Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan.
I can see it. I'm not against it.
I'm not against it. That's a solid maybe, Taz.
Casting goes for him.
I would bring Josephine to something like super dramatic and catty, like Gossip Girl, or
You.
just something like no one can out Blair Waldorf, but I think Josephine could take a run at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I think I'd take Harper at like the height of her six pack, which doesn't exist, thank you, COVID. To like American Ninja Warrior or like NXT, one of those like shows. You're like,
That is brilliant.
fighting your way through it like that hard.
And then your computer falls.
I'd go for the opposite.
Yeah, it would be like a physical reality show.
I'd want to throw Shaw in like a High School Musical or something really cheesy, just so that he could be so confused of what's going on. Why is everyone singing? Why is everyone so happy?
I love that answer.
Me too. Like,
I was gonna say the same thing about like Roan. I was gonna be like, Roan would be hilarious in like some sort of like show like The Office or something like that. He would like,
Oh my god, I love it.
he'd misunderstand, like, all of a sudden he'd be like ready to kill, but it was like just over like some water cooler issue.
Like there with ninja stars ready to get you back.
What did you say about the Ice Nation? No, I ice for my
Yeah.
like, it's like,
Awesome. For my money, I think any of your characters could have fit into Doctor Who quite easily.
Yeah.
And some of you could have even been companion characters. That would have been fun. But Sophia, thank you. Great question. What do we have next? From Isha, what similarities do you have with your character?
I'm also in love with Christopher Larkin.
that is true.
He's on the move.
well, I'm on the move because just like my character, I am technologically not all that advanced. I'm better with a knife than a computer, but I just saw that it said low battery, so I'm just preemptively going to get some
You're
sort
right.
that I can plug it into.
How much do you want Betty keeps the sunglasses on?
Oh, no, you're not allowed on this. Those are my children.
As we take a tour of Zach's home.
Yeah, welcome. You're in the bedroom.
All right, he's getting set up. Anybody else think they have similarities they might have had to their character?
I mean, I feel like I'm resourceful. I'm loyal. Like my dad was kind of like one of those, like Tim the Toolman Taylor types. He was always just kind of inventing solutions for things in the house. And my mom would come home and be like, what is going on? So like I get this kind of like creative, like, yeah, I could probably figure this out kind of thing. Like, Echo is also very resourceful, but she's just not with stupid home, renovations. But, she's more into like saving lives and that whole deal.
Fair. Absolutely fair.
I want to say, oh no, go. You go, Zach.
I was gonna say, there's not. I don't know. Like, I feel like Roan and I are very similar in a lot of ways. Maybe, yeah. Like in most ways, there's like a lot of similarities. Like, I mean, he was pretty honor bound and like was kind of like meant what he said what he meant kind of person. That's what I try to do, at least.
Right on. That works.
I feel like Shaw had, again, related in a lot of ways, but he probably just took a lot of my positive traits. Like, I kind of like Shaw, but I'm sure he'll be better than me. He thought about what he was saying, and I think I'm someone who thinks. I think a lot. I assess everything. And Shaw's very like analytical. So probably in that.
I would say that Josephine loves very hard. Will do anything for love. I think I'm very similar to that. And I can be a little sarcastic here and there, a little sassy sass. But the first one, yeah, I love a lot. So does she. We love.
You mean like
we're lovers.
We're lovers. What can I tell you? We're both lovers.
All right. Aisha, thank you. That was a great one. Jude, let's roll another one. And this comes from Claire. And what do you like the most about your costumes?
Ooh.
My leather jacket.
I just feel like I can do anything in mine. I could run through like a fence, I could roll around in mud. I just wouldn't care. It's just ready for everything.
Yeah.
I love that you didn't say hop a fence. You said run through a fence.
Yeah. I was going to say the same thing. Yeah. You can run right through fences. I don't know. There's this like sense of magic.
Costumes are nice because it's terrible weather, right? And you can the costumes are made for that. You can trudge through the mud and the wetness because everything's waterproof.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Who else?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is the right part, but I think my favorite costume was that armor for the Conclave that I wore.
Yeah,
it was just really awesome, and I loved it because, like you were saying, I mean, it was actually like protective. I felt like I could actually like go into. I wouldn't necessarily want to go into that type of battle with it. Maybe some metal on it would be better, but it was very protective and it was awesome. So
Cool.
I felt strong with my gun.
Yeah, that
hard. She was leading a troop of men. Fuck it. That was like, she was like, fuck yeah. I like that. I felt strong with that. Until it's freezing cold outside, as you said, and your trigger finger freezes.
Absolutely. All right, cool. Yeah. Claire, thank you. That was a great one. Hey, and a reminder to our audience, if you'd like to chat with our guests like I am now, purchase an autograph, or get a personalized recorded shout out, please sign up now at GalaxyCon.com. And Jude, let's go ahead and roll another one.
Patty, you're good at that.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's my PBS style sliding in. If you enjoy these fine programming, yeah. And this comes from Isabella. And what's your funniest or most memorable experience with a fan? And reiterate, funniest, I'm going to say funniest and most pleasurable, because memorables could have been the weird ones, and we don't need to go into that.
I have several, but I feel like many of the memorable ones are quite intimate that I don't feel like it's fair to repeat. I guess I could just leave it at people who identify with the themes in the 100.
Sure.
And who have shared their private stories regarding that has been very impactful and very memorable for me. I feel like our show really pushed that vulnerability, and the fans were able to do so and chose to, which I love, to do so as well when we meet them in person. And I've heard some stories, how they relate that I don't think I'll ever forget.
Awesome.
Also dance offs at the fan con, stuff like that.
Such a short turn.
Dance off I did there on the dance floor was a fun one.
Oh, so you like to do dance offs at conventions, huh? I'm just gonna make a little note of that for our future records.
Zach, do you remember when we were at what was the convention in Atlanta? DragonCon, and we were like in, I don't know, the elevator or something like that, and someone was like, oh my god, like my wife loves the show, and then like we went to the hotel room to like surprise her, but she was like on the toilet, and she was like baby, she's like, I have a surprise for you, and she's like, don't come in here. And like me and Zach and Richard like all walked in, and she was like, oh my god. She was in it, but, like, she was not the reason for
That was a good one. I mean, but like in her, like she came out, she was really shocked. But then we ended up having some drinks, and they turned out to be just across the hallway from me, because in DragonCon everyone stays in this giant hotel, and it's absolutely madness. For me, actually, when we were in Paris, and me and Eliza were having dinner.
Oh yeah.
The owner of that, so we're at like the best restaurant in, where were we? Toulouse. We're in like the highest rated restaurant there, and we're having like the most amazing dinner. Like it's French, and so you're having like the best dinner ever. And the owner of the restaurant comes up, and she recognizes us from the 100, and like just. I mean, by the time we left, like it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. She'd closed the restaurant down, and like we were just like having a dance party and drinking Armagnac from our birth years, from our birth months.
Yeah,
Armagnac bottles from the cellar, and like it was special.
Amazing.
It was very special.
I can't believe I don't know those stories. Those are great stories.
But they recognized Zach first, and like Eliza was sitting right kind of the first person, and she was kind of like looking over Eliza to Zach, and Zach is like,
you might know.
You might be excited to see that right next to you is the lead of the show, Eliza, and she was like, hi, and the girl was like, ah!
You may know Echo, like what? So yeah, she freaked out. We ended up like, I mean, it was basically like her, the manager, and like a bunch of the chef. We just like partied all night and ate the most amazing food that ever got. Expensive French liquor that was fantastic.
Wow.
The hangover is pretty sweet.
Hit you hard.
Hangover in France. Nothing finer.
Pretty rock star of you.
Absolutely. So I hate to challenge anyone to try to top that, but if anybody else wants to throw one
what story you got about pants, huh?
I don't know. I still gotta give the edge to the toilet story. Just saying.
Hilarious.
Those are really good stories.
I think mine would be on my last job. Was my first studio feature. I was real nervous. Like just being there, it was just weird to be finally doing that kind of thing. And there was this one of the girls that was working on the catering team. Every day that she served me, I just felt like she didn't want to like look at me or talk to me, and I was like, I didn't know what the vibe was. Then over a few days, her mom actually works there and came and spoke to me and said that she was like a huge fan of the 100, but she didn't know that I was doing this job. So then every day I got to speak to her and get to know her a bit over 3 months, and she's just a real beautiful soul. But I also got to see every day like how much the show meant to her, and it had been there for her, and I had a more understanding for fan culture. I think before that point, I didn't really get it. I've never been like a TV head. I've never been into watching too much. But just from that one experience, I just gained a lot of respect and understanding as well. Her name was Maisie. I don't know if she's in here, but I remember you, Maisie. Much love. So that's mine.
Cool. I dig that. That's nice. Sarah, you got one?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely agree with Chelsey. It's just hearing how people can relate to you or why they watch the show, and just being able to help them out with their career, just give them advice. That's super special. But I think one of my funniest was I brought my mom to a convention, and I swear by the end of it had more fans than I did. Everyone just loved her. I don't blame them. She is one of the best humans on the planet.
Please tell me she was at your table introducing her. This is my very talented daughter.
I wish that's exactly what happened. She was sitting at the table next to me, and then we went the next day. She was running around. Like, she loves the show. So yeah, she was in heaven. So that was pretty funny.
She was a second agent for you.
I still get messages about my mom. Like, everyone's like, "Look, Belle." True thing.
I meant tell her to say hi.
Yeah, I will.
That is awesome. Awesome. Isabella, thank you. That was a great question for us. Let's see if we roll another one. This one comes from Liz. What was the funniest blooper any of you have had while filming a scene? And I'll expand that I'll say it can be from any facet of your career if you've got a really good one.
I'm just loving the reactions from Zach and Tass. I need to know what they're
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a story here that I hope can be repeated.
Well,
Your hand.
we had to see Trig all the time. So
Trig.
yeah, the one I'm thinking of is when we're on the horse.
Yeah.
And like I've gotten the way that we had to film, they were on a technocrane, and there was like all this like horse army behind us. It was like a lot going on in the shot. So we really had to be like on our dialogue, because like it ended like this giant shot, and like the way it worked, like I got my line out like kind of like over my shoulder this way, kind of in like profile, and then the camera would come around and it would just be on like a monologue of Toss. And she's on a horse for like the first time, like the second time in her life,
easy.
And I would just I would say I had like one line would be like stop, and I'd like turn to her, and like that's all I had to kind of get through. I turned
Every time, and you'd look at me, and I just would be like onomatopoeia. And I would and then like my horse would like start walking like sideways, and then like start like farting and like kicking its legs, and I was just like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, there's too much going on. And then like after the first couple of times, I would like look at Zach to give my very serious line, and he would just be sitting there like with this kind of smirk on his face, just waiting for me to fuck up. I was going screw up or whatever. And it would just like make it even harder to deliver my line, and I would just be like, stop doing that. As my horse would like back me out of my own shot. It was like cool.
And then the West is like, so she finally like nails it. Like she nails it. It's on like it's only like take 3, by the way. Like, and she like, and it's like a long piece, and so it's like not that big of a deal. And she nails it. And then the actual guy who's been hired to like ride the horses and keep the horses like ready, like his horse starts like trying to buck him off in the middle of her line, and it's just like I gotta go again because the horse guy and the horses.
That was the same day that the bear was like with Eliza, and that was a big day. That was a crazy day.
Yeah, a bear walk-in shot. That was,
a lot of animal wrangling that day.
Wow.
Taz, I know how seriously you take your character and your work. Like I see your breakdowns and your script on set. So when I hear that you're in the middle of that and you say the horse was farting, I can't.
Took a giant dump. Like
I can just picture you trying so hard to keep it together. It's just, I said pee, not fart.
But Marie used to freestyle her trick too, but she was so much better at it than me. Like I didn't know what to even say. I was like, bucka bucka boo, da da da. Like I was just saying like random like sounds. I was like, didn't know what to do. But very determined looking. I was like, I mean that.
Editor had to go through all that with all these horse sounds. And
you were there that day. It was the day that you were pinned on the top of the cliff, and you were shooting down into the valley.
Yeah.
With Monty. Yeah.
There was. I think all of my biggest bloopers were that
tend to go around the trig. The trig is not easy, and anyone who wants to like know what that experience is like just like take a language you don't speak, like anyone listening out there, like a language you don't speak, like go get a play in that language and take a big monologue and try to perform it. And just, it's not easy.
But also with a made-up language that you've never even heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep. Absolutely. So, wow. So, who can beat horse farting?
I mean, I'm sure we've all had bloopers. I don't.
Yeah, and again, doesn't necessarily be the 100. Anything in your career that might kind of, or on stage, or if you got something that comes to mind.
I recently just finished an all-female led zombie western film.
Ooh.
And I had to ride a horse as well, and I have zero experience on the horse. And my co-star is like, I grew up riding horses, and I'm like, screw you. And horses out of the blue get massive erections. Well, what?
Every-
And so, like every take, we're gonna have to VFX that out. So that was.
Well, the horse was working with an all-female cast.
I just remember that. I do have one from the 100.
But I've done my job.
I think on one day, it was a stunt. I was being dragged in after I'd been like beaten by McCreary, and they throw me into a table and they're saying, "You need to get stunned, guys." And I was like, "No, I'm fine, let's do it." And when we did it, somehow I just went too far and cracked my head on this glass vase that was on the table, and I've got it on video as well. But it was so loud, and when I came up, you know when you're passing out and you can see like the light leaving from the outside, it's just closing, but I could see Lindsay. So I thought, let me just keep walking towards her. And I've got that take on video. And I'm fully unconscious. As I'm walking, I'm losing consciousness. But we made it through. And I just hope they used I never seen it back in the show, but I don't know if they used that take. I hope they did. Because I had concussion. It better be worth it.
wow.
Can you just speak to all of us after this panel? That'd be cool.
Oh my God, the sound is ridiculous.
Wow.
Amazing. Sarah, you got one that comes to mind?
I mean, I was doing the same movie with Richard, and we became very close friends, and we hung out a lot, and we had this scene. I was playing his girlfriend in the movie, and I was getting really angry with him because I was trying to study, and he was telling me we didn't have to study and this and that and to focus on something else. And I believe my line was, not all, and he played Roger. And my line was, not all of us are second generation Einstein's Roger, like, really upset. And I'm, whatever take, third take, whatever, we're going, and it's on me, and I'm like really in it. I'm like, this is my best scene. Like, yeah, let's go. And I'm not all of us are second generation Einstein's, Richard. And everyone's silent. Like, I meant it. Like, everyone was like, I was like, oh no. And I just stopped. I looked around and nobody said anything. And it was just, Richard was like, oh. Do you mean that? Do you hate me? That would have to be the funniest, because I'm dying to see that. We're all dying to see that.
Yeah, that's gonna be so. Liz, thank you. That was a great
I'm joking.
That's cool. Liz, thank you. That was a great question. We have time for one more, so I'll ask our producers to pull out a really good one out of the pool. And this comes from Christy. As we are coming to the end of the series, how do you feel about the evolution of your character?
I feel like mine could have evolved longer.
Same.
I'll leave this to you, Tess.
Echo's gone through so many. She's gone through so many different stages of, like when we met her, she was in basically underwear in a cage, and And then she became this Asgata warrior spy, and then she became like, you know, one of the pals of the whole gang. And so it's been really interesting to see her, you know, shape shift over the course of the seasons. And I think it's been really fun and interesting. And The 100 is definitely a show that challenges, I think, all of us. So it's always fun to try and tackle what they give us.
Fair. Absolutely.
Anybody else?
I mean, I guess some of you went on being on for a while, but you left your mark. There's no question of that.
I feel like for Harper, twofold. Like as Chelsey, I love to die on camera. Like we were just saying earlier that Jordan had such a great death. Like there's something like I would have loved some kind of raw kind of death.
Yeah.
That being said, that happens so often on the 100, and Harper was given one of those epic, rare chances to choose love over life, and it was a very romantic ending. And I think the casting that they did for our son was incredible. For Jordan, I think it was a very romantic ending, and therefore I'm okay with it, even though I didn't get to bleed to death.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anyone else? How about you, Almighty Ice King?
Evolution-wise, I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much he evolved over the time he was there. In the sense, I mean, he did in that. He went from like being banished to being like a prince, you know, being let back in a prince to a king and all that. But like, I think he was still the same guy the whole time. Like that was just like for instance, like in life, you know, like sometimes like I was like once a bartender and now I'm an actor. Like I don't think like I'm different because of those titles. Like being a father changed me as like a person a bit. Like so that I don't know. I think you know. Like I liked the character he was, and I'm glad he didn't evolve too far away from that. I guess maybe there's one part of his evolution that I didn't quite like about it. Just before, like when they had kind of made the decision where I was going to be gone, like he once used like a derogatory term like to like address someone in the like. It was actually right after we had the microwave scenario. And I was like, oh, so like he's a bully now, huh? Okay, cool. So like, I guess I would say I didn't feel good about that part.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. So, anyone else? Any takers?
I would say Josephine is a really interesting evolution because she kind of jumps around. She starts really intense and then she softens up, and then you know, it's not all one person. So she's in different bodies and that changes you. And then she, you know, and she fakes a lot of stuff and she has really soft. And then you see her before she becomes this hardened human. And, you know, I think it's very interesting. I think you see her try to do the right thing. And at the end of the day, she couldn't. And I think it's just a really interesting path. It's not necessarily an upward trajectory or either or. It's a cool one for sure. I loved how interesting it was, how intricate it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think for sure he kind of just, for me, he came in, he served the purpose, and he left. You know, he was the person he was when he came in. He was doing good. I think it was the same goals.
He wanted to be an explorer, and he died an explorer's death, for lack of a better term. He died doing what he wanted to do.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
He didn't want to die, but he died doing the duty and the job that he had longed for. So
yeah, exactly. So it felt like he served his purpose and did what he was going to do. You know, so I'm happy with the story. I'm very happy.
Absolutely. Christy, thank you for that question. And I have been happy with all of you GalaxyCon viewers. This has been the cast of the 100, and that was my time, but it does not have to be yours. If you'd like to chat directly with our guests like I have today, purchase an autograph, or get a personalized recorded shout out, please head over to GalaxyCon.com. And while you're there, be sure to check out our schedule of upcoming events like this one. Panelists, any final words for our audience before we go?
Thank you.
I was waiting for it.
Thank you.
We should touch your hands.
Yeah, those were great questions. Once again, thank you for staying up with us. I'm sure it's very late for some of you. And thank you to you guys, Zach, Tass, Jordan, Sarah, Patty. Thank you.
Yeah.
Guys.
Thank you all so much. It's been my pleasure to serve you. And like I said, I look forward to the day where we can get you in front of the GalaxyCon stages, in front of your fans, and in front of our audiences. And speaking of audiences, thank you, audience, for joining us today. Thank you for all those great questions. We hope to see you again this coming weekend. We'll be joined by guests from Apex Legends, Star Trek Voyager, and Fairy Tale. In the meantime, bye-bye, everyone. Take care, and please keep washing those hands.